So we always hear about people who are setting New Year's resolutions only to go and, well, I suppose, break them just a week later.
Oh, so how can we set meaningful goals that will help us break bad habits and change our routines for the better? And most of all, how can we stick to them?
Well, Dr. Ritz Birah joins us now to talk through, hopefully, some top tips on how we can stick to them and not fail miserably at this time of year. So, well, Happy New Year, first
Happy
of all.
New Year!
Great to have you in.
Thank you for having me.
It's really lovely to see
Really
you.
lovely to be here.
We were just talking in the break there about one of your main emphasis at this time of year for people to get their act in order. And you were talking about journaling.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like journaling can be a fantastic way to get your thoughts, get your intentions, get your goals down onto paper, your phone, whatever platform you might be using, to really clear out that mental clutter that's maybe happened in 2024. Let's get some clarity here. When we set goals, and I think this is the problem sometimes with New Year's resolutions, they're often very broad, very ambiguous, they lack clarity, and our brain, it loves structure, it loves pattern. So journaling can be a fantastic way to become really clear what is it that you want to get from yourself.
But what then is really the difference between writing down New Year's resolutions and setting goals? Then how can you kind of differentiate between the two? And also, how can you make it easier to stick to them whilst journaling and kind of keep that longevity in the journaling? You were talking to us about a WhatsApp group that you started.
Absolutely. So I have an online journal subscription service called Reflect with Dr. Ritz. And the reason that came about is I've always recommended journaling to my clients, to my patients, as a way to consolidate their therapy sessions or if they've attended a workshop with me. And what tends to happen is, like by month 2, you know, if they've been really good at it, or even, you know, after a few weeks, that journal, it falls to the back of the bedside drawer, or it comes out again in January with the resolution. So I thought, what are people already doing? What's a habit people are already doing, and how do we implement something on top of that? So that's called habit stacking. And so I came up with a WhatsApp journal that is all delivered via WhatsApp. It's all confidential, it's unmonitored. And what happens is it follows a repetitive basis, and that's the neuroscience behind it. Because when we repeat things at the same time every day, that's how we form the neural connection. So in the morning, you'll get something like a positive affirmation that really helps you to set your intention for the day. What type of day do you want to have? Because we can often feel so rushed in the morning, can't we?
Absolutely. I mean, we're rushing here, we're rushing there, and it's just, it seems like life is non-stop. Is that one of the reasons why resolutions tend to fail? Because we, as you say, set the intention, life fills up, and your resolutions fall to the wayside.
Absolutely. We live life on autopilot. So the resolution that you have in mind, the habit that you want to set, it's not become habitual. So that's when it becomes automatic. And the way to do that is to implement those pathways in your brain by repeating it on a daily basis. But the other really important part of it is to have a reward. Have something that gives you that dopamine release, and it's going to make you feel good. So for me, I wanted to set a habit of waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning to just get my power hour in before the house woke up. And the reward for that, it wasn't going to be getting out of bed into a cold environment. It was my hot cup of tea that I was going to make in the morning. That's what helped me to build that momentum, get those small steps in, so that over a longer period of time, that was just natural to me.
It's similar, I think they say as well, you might be able to correct me on this, but if you're wanting to start, let's say, running in the morning, then put your running clothes out and your running shoes out the night before, put them by the door so that you can see it, that sort of visual, practical impulse to encourage you to follow through on that habit.
And also we were talking about when you're in bed late at night, often you said in just before we came to you that those are when your intrusive and negative thoughts come out. Some people, go to prayer, for example, or something else. You may go to the Bible, you may go to any other, sort of religious book, but you were talking about gratitude and how important that is. How do you implement your WhatsApp journal and gratitude?
So in terms of implementing all that into your day, you're right, we go about our day, we fall into bed, those negative thoughts creep in. I should have done this, I didn't do that, I wish I hadn't said this, why did I act like that? And actually, we're priming our brains into a real negative state before we go to bed. How are we going to wake up feeling in the morning? Actually, quite heavy, not energised. So one of the questions that you get at the end of your day is, what are 3 things you're grateful for? What's gone well today? What are you proud of? Again, it's going to give your brain that dopamine release. It's going to help you relive those memories of the day that they're so easy to forget. And I always say go small, because it's very easy to remember big things, but if you go smaller, actually that's going to help your brain much more. Then I ask people, what's your 1% improvement for tomorrow? So let's say you had a resolution of, I want to eat less chocolate, and you ended up having that treat. Right, let's not be hard on yourself. Actually, tomorrow, when you fancy that treat, rather than having the chocolate, maybe you have a protein bar laced with chocolate. Maybe you have a date, so it still gives you that sugar fix.
And something like a 1% is achievable.
It's doable, isn't it?
It doesn't scare you, and it doesn't make you feel like a failure, because everybody can move forward by 1%
Absolutely.
the next day. Which
marginal gains are so important.
Dr. Ritz, thank you so much. We're both inspired.
Thank you so much.
We're both inspired. Looking forward to it. I need to get my journal back out.
Well, I hope you both join.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Well, there's lots more still to come on the show, but first, the headline.